In this video, we all learn about 5 most famous Bishnupur temple history. An interesting fact. The historical place came out to be a bundle of surprise. Bishnupur is a city and a municipality of Bankura district in the state of West Bengal, India. It was much later in 994 AD that the place was named Bishnupur. The name is derived from the name of the Hindu god Vishnu. Terracotta is characteristic of Bishnupur. The town has a glorious past that is reflected in its rich architecture, music, and handicrafts such as pottery and weaving. The potters. The land is also called Mallabhum after the Malla rulers of this place. Bishnupur eventually became the capital of the kings of the Malla dynasty. The Malla rulers were Vaishnavites and built the famous terracotta temples during the 17th and 18th centuries at this place. The legends of Bipottarani Devi are associated with Malla kings of Bishnupur. Mrinmay Temple of Kings is treated as a valuable historic place. Since 1998, Bishnupur, the seat of the Malla dynasty, famous for the cluster of 22 temples made of brick and laterite stone and covered with intricate terracotta ornamentation. The Bishnupur Gharana of Dhrupad music and Baluchari sari was one of India's 11 submissions to the UNESCO. Rasmancha Pavilion, used for housing the idols of Lord Krishna from other temples during the Rash festival, was built in brick by King Veer Hambir in 1600 AD. This is the oldest brick temple in Bishnupur and is shaped as an elongated pyramidal tower surrounded by hut-shaped turrets. Length and breadth of this temple is 24.5 meter and the height is 12.5 meter. The base or altar of the temple is made of laterite stone and upper part is made with bricks. Upper structure looks like a pyramid. Middle part resembles Bengali huts and the arches of the lower part resembles Islamic architecture. During the Vaishnav Ras festival, all the Radha Krishna idols of Bishnupur town used to be brought here to be worshipped by the citizens. The annual festival was held till 1932. It is almost impossible to believe that it was over 400 years old. The Shyamarai Temple or Pancharatna Temple is to the north of the Bishnupur village and is famous for its rich architectural beauty. The square-shaped temple has its interior and exterior decorated with wonderful terracotta tiles. There are various pictures and carvings that depict the stories of Lord Krishna as a cowherd with the flute and the gopis. Standing on a low square plinth, this Pancharatna brick temple was built by the Malla king Raghunath Singha in 1643 AD and noted for elaborate terracotta ornamentations. The square sanctum is surrounded by an ambulatory pathway with a porch opened by 3 multicusped arches on 4 sides. Of the 5 sikharas, the central one is octagon, originally collapsed, while the others are square resting upon the 4 corners of a sloping roof in Pida order. The decorative panels are interesting to narrate the contemporary socio-religious themes and economic life of the people. It also includes scenes from the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and other Puranic stories, plants, animals, and grotesque figures. Of the various decorative panels, mention may be made of the famous Rasmandala for its superb aesthetic appeal. The Jorebangla temple resembles two thatched huts joined together, and a single tower. This temple in brick was built by the Malla king Raghunath Singh in 1655 AD. The structure was erected on 1-meter high platform using laterite bricks. The entire outer surface is decorated with terracotta plaques displaying various aspects of human life and culture, gods and goddesses, animals, floral and geometrical designs. The terracotta on the nearby Keshtoraya temple, the subject matter is also largely similar, but the layout is more intricate and systematic. The different rows of illustrations depict a single linear narrative, each with entire rows being taken up by chronological depictions of Krishna's life, from the nursing of Krishna and Balaram to Krishna and Balaram fighting the king's wrestlers in Mathura, warriors confronting each other on chariots in the Battle of Kurukshetra, highlighting evocative scenes like Bhishma lying on a bed of arrows. Kalachand Temple was built by Malla King Raghunath Singha in 1656 AD on a low platform of laterite blocks. This Ekaratna or single-towered temple is made of rust-colored laterite. The temple has a square base of 11.1 meter and a height of 9.2 m above the platform. The roof of the temple is typical Bengali chala type. There is a circumambulatory corridor around the main shrine. The structure has three arched openings on each of the four sides and a shikhar or tower, ratna, on the curved roof. This is probably the earliest Ekaratna temple found in Bishnupur. There is an amlaka on the top of the shikhara. The frontal facade of the temple is decorated with various events of contemporary life as well as mythological stories of Krishna Leela. Madanmohon Temple. The Madanmohon Temple was built by the King Durjana Singh Dev in late 17th century. The architecture of the temple is in Ekratna style, has a square flat roof with curved cornices and a pinnacle over the top. Madanmohon Temple is one of those oldest temples in Bishnupur where the deity is still there and worshipped. The Terracotta Temple was constructed within the fort complex in 1694 AD. It was built in the Eka Ratna style of temple architecture with a square flat roof, cornices that are curved, and a pinnacle on the top. This temple is even more ornately carved and sculptured than the other famous terracotta temples in Bishnupur. Anecdotes and stories of the legend of Lord Vishnu, also known as Madanmohon, are quite famous in Bishnupur and also during the rules of Malla King. Stories from the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, and the Puranas adorn the ceiling and walls in the form of paintings and carvings.